I just don't want black girl magic to turn into black boy tragic. I don't want this to turn into a conversation about all the wrong of our boys while we're lifting up our girls.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.
Governor Wes Moore was talking with Van Lathan, who also really appreciate the work that he does on his podcast with Miss Lindsay. And they were talking about why Governor Wes Moore is focusing on men and boys in his campaign in his state of Maryland. Play the clips, Miz.
I said, listen, we're going to make a priority lifting up our young men and boys. And I remember I got a lot of heat on it because people are like, what does this mean about our women and girls and so on. So I said, listen, it's not binary for me, y'all. It's not like we're going to focus on our men and boys and we're going to completely neglect our women and girls. We're going to keep on lifting up our women and girls 100%. But you cannot look at the data and think that everything is okay. When I said, if you really want to lift up women and girls, make sure the men and boys are okay. I was raised by an amazing mom, like an immigrant single mother who I swear has wings on. One thing, and she'll tell you this, the one thing she can never do, teach me how to be a man, because she doesn't know that. It's the same way I have an amazing 14-year-old daughter. I let that girl with everything in me. And I feel like I can teach her so much. You know what I can never teach her? How to be a woman. When we are having situations where so many of our young men and boys are being asked to figure this out on their own, we have to make sure that we're doing our part to ensure that our young men and boys are taking up their rightful position inside of our society, and to make sure we're doing our part as a government to not do what has been done all throughout my life.
There are sisters that are screaming at their phones and their TVs right now that what you said a second ago is centering men. I'm just giving you the opportunity to address the statement that if you want safe women, you need safe men. They're going to say you're centering men. What would you say to them when they said that?
I am. As I was coming up, you know what my family needed for me to be? A protector, a provider. Do you know what my family needs for me to be? An example for them and someone who understands how vital I am to my family.
My dad used to say, the world ain't got no use for a do-nothing man.
I tell you right now, if I was a do-nothing man, I wouldn't have my wife either. Because she had no need for me either.
I guess I don't even look at it as centering men. I feel like you're more so pouring into the male community, and in essence, you're saying it helps women on the other side. It's like it balances each other out. We help each other out.
Do you know who some of the greatest champions of our work around, and it's been the nation-leading work around young men and boys? Women. Because they're like, that's my son. That is my husband. That is my father. It's actually women who have been some of the ones who've jumped up and be like, thank you for actually making sure that our young boys know that they have an important and a rightful place in our society. I remember I was at a barbershop. I remember they were having this conversation about black women and this important moment that we had. And somebody there said something that really stuck with me. And he's a dad with girls. And he's like, listen, I love this. And I love all the things people are doing and talking about. But he's like, I just don't want black girl magic to turn into black boy tragic. I don't want this to turn into a conversation about all the wrong of our boys while we're lifting up our girls. And my point is this, we got to lift them both up. We're going to keep lifting up our girls. But at the same time, I am looking at my boys and I'm saying, take your rightful place.
Thank you, Governor Wes Moore, Van Lathan, Rachel Lindsay. Thank you for that conversation. And I think we need to have it more. We are in such a rage-baiting versus mentality that when Governor Moore raises the issue of doubling down on lifting up black boys and men, it becomes a problem, and it shouldn't be a problem. Because last I looked, if you got a leak in your house, you go to where the leak is. If there is, a compromise in your foundation, you have to shore that up. You can't ignore it. It's not going to fix itself. And playing that Nick Fuentes clip tells me that there's nobody gathering him because everybody around him is just like him. And we have a president of the United States that's just like him. Everything that he was boldly saying out of his mouth, they say behind closed doors, and they're saying it more often out of their mouths, but they're also in positions of power to affect our lives. So we have to do something. We can't ignore it. I mean, I want to ignore it, but it's not going to go away. So we have to confront it. We have to challenge it. And we have to start with ourselves, because if we have more people in our community stepping up in that way and checking and challenging, starting with the music. Kanye West, with his mama and his background, his grandparents and everything they sacrificed for him to even be able to be out here doing this stuff, should never give coverage to somebody like a Nick Fuentes. Shame on him. Shame on him. But where are the brothers around him, not just saying, Kanye, take your medicine, but what are you doing? You literally are raising black boys and girls. And you let this man go out, and I know you may have some mental illness or something. Sit down, though. Shh. Shh. Stop giving coverage. And everybody that gives coverage to people like Bill Maher, and I'm talking to you, Mr. Render, letting him use the N-word and all of this, you're part of the problem. That's not for me to say. And our music that glorifies this has to be addressed. We can't just ignore it. It's not going away.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will